It seems that one of the most flagrant sins of the Israelites, once they got the freedom from the Egyptian bondage, was murmuring and grumbling. Over and over you read about them doing that. And we're no different sometimes. In fact, as we continue reading in James chapter 5, we're told in verse 9, do not grumble against one another, brothers, so that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. Now, you have to remember this in its context, because the verses just right before it talk about being patient. And the verses right after it talk about being patient. And it almost seems that the interjection of this sentence about don't grumble against one another is unrelated to the whole context. But it really is very, very related when we look at it in the entire context, going even further back in the beginning of the chapter. You may recall in the beginning of the chapter, Christians are addressed there, really rich people are addressed there who are abusing Christians and withholding from them the proper pay that they deserve for working in their fields. And so the rich people were really somewhat like persecuting, at least not being fair to the workers and the laborers in their fields. And so the next verses tell them, so be patient about this, have the right perspective about it. And then he goes on to tell them to be patient about it. And then there's this sentence about, and don't grumble against one another. That's in context because here's what happens. When you and I have persecutions, stresses, distresses, difficulties, often we take it out on someone else. We take the frustrations that we're feeling and we vent that and we take it out on our brothers and sisters in Christ, our brothers and sisters in our family, and we grumble and gripe and complain against one another. And we're reminded in this verse, don't do that even when you're having these hardships and difficulties. Why? Because the judge is watching. God is watching. And when he sees us, even in difficulty and adversity, what does he see in regard to how we treat one another?